In this video, I'll be going over how to multiply 3-digit numbers by 2-digit numbers in a shortcut way. Now normally we would take the 3-digit number, multiply by the 2-digit number using the normal multiplication form, but that method may take longer than this way. In this way, with lots of practice, you may be able to do this in your head. So, from the method above, you will see there are different numbers, and those are the sequence that you want to follow. So first you would multiply 1 with 1. You will have 1 times 1. Then you will place it right here. And next, you would take 2 times 2 and place the result right here. Next, you would take 3, so you multiply these two numbers, and then you will place it right here. Then you will multiply the two number as indicated by 4 and place it right here. Then you would take the two numbers, multiply them together as step 5 shows, and put it right here. And then the last multiplication you want to do is taking this number, multiply by this number, and place it right here. Now this may all seem confusing right now, but after a few examples, you will understand how this works. So the first step, from the first example of 114 times by 22, we need to first take the first digit and multiply them together. And so 1 times 2 is 2. Next, we're going to do the second step, which is this number multiplied by this number. So 4 times 2 is 8. We'll place it at the end. And then we'll put 2 spaces in between. Now the third step, we're taking this number multiplied by this number. So 4 times 2 is 8. So we'll put a little 8 here. And then for the fourth step, we're taking this number multiplying by this number. And 1 times 2 is 2. So we're adding 2 here. Now for the fifth step, we're taking this number multiplied by this number. So 1 times 2 is 2. And in the sixth step, we're taking the first digit multiplying by the last. Then we're placing it right here. Now we're ready to complete. Now we just have to add them all up. So we have 2, and then 2 plus 2 is 4. 8 plus 2 is 10. Since there can only be one digit, that means that it will be 0, and then we'll place a plus 1 on top. And then we will have 8 at the end. So we need to add the 4 and the 1. That gives us 5. So it becomes 2,508. And after you input 114 times by 22 in a calculator, you will see that the answer is 2,508. Now let's try another example. So we're gonna first multiply first digit of first and second number. 2 times 5, since this is the double digit, it will be 10, like so. And for the next step, we're taking the last digit of first number multiplying by the last digit of the second number. And 1 times 2 is 2. We'll place 2 spaces in between. Then the third step, we're taking the last digit of the first number, multiplying by the first digit of the second number. So 1 times 5 is 5. Place it right here. Next, step 4, we're taking the second digit of the first number, multiplying by the last digit of the second number. And that's 8. 4 times 2, so we'll take 5 plus 8. Now the next step, number 5, we're taking the second digit of the first number, and we're multiplying by the first digit of the second number. So 4 times 5 is 20. Then we're taking the first digit of the first number, multiplying by the last digit of the second number. And that equals 4. So we'll add 4. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and add them together. We have 1, 0, and then we have 20 plus 4, which is 24. So we'll place the 4 here and then place a plus 2 on top. That's 24. Then we have 5 plus 8, which is 13. So we place a 3 and then place a plus 1 on top. Then we have 2 at the end. So we would need to add 10 plus 2 and then 4 plus 1. And that gave us 12 here, and then 5 here, and then 3, 2. So the final answer is 12,532. Now feel free to input 241 times by 52 on a calculator, and you will see the answer is 12,532. Now moving on to example 3, we have 321 times by 35. So we're going to multiply the first digits. 3 times 3 is 9. Then second step, last digit to last digit. 1 times 5 is 5. 2 spaces in between. Step 3, last digit to first digit. 1 times 3 is 3. Next step, second digit to last digit. 2 times 5 is 10. Fifth step, second digit to first digit. 2 times 3 is 6. And the last one, 3 times 5, which is 15. Okay, so now we're gonna add them together. Have 9, then we have 21, and then 13, and adding the 9 and the 2, and then 1 and the 1, we will have 11, 2, 3, 5. And inputting that in the calculator, you will see 321 times by 35 is 11,235. Now moving on to example 4. 415 times by 75. Now taking the first digit, choose first digit. 4 times 7, 28. Now second step, we're taking 5, which is the last digit, times the last digit. 5 times 5 is 25. Now we can only have one digit. So we'll place a 5, and then we'll place a plus 2 on top. Next, we will have last digit times by first digit. 5 times 7, 35. Then, fourth step, second digit to last. Second digit times the last digit. 1 times 5 is 5. So we'll add 5 here. Okay, and then fifth step, second digit to first digit. It's 1 times 7 is 7. And the last step, which is the first digit multiplied by the last. 4 times 5 is 20. Now let's bring all that down. So we'll have 28. The 7 plus 20 is 27. So plus 2 on top. Now 35 plus 5 plus the 2 is 42. So we've got to place a 4 on top and then a 5 at the end. So 28 plus 2, and then we have 7 plus 4. So this becomes 30, and then we have 11, so we need to plus 1 again to 5. Then we need to do this again, so we need to add 1 to 30. So it's 31 like this, and then we have 1, 2, 5. So our final answer is 31,125. By inputting the number 415 times 75 in a calculator, you will see the answer is 31,125. So this is another method that you could find answer by multiplying without the multiplication format. It does take some practice and also memorization of the steps, but you can definitely master this if you want to calculate multiple digits by multiple digits in your head. We also have a video that's on multiplying 2-digit by 2-digit numbers in the same shortcut method, and you can find it in the comment section of this video. Hopefully this is helpful to you, and thank you for watching.